Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But without further ado, let's jump in here and we're going to look at how to use the Kingfisher SDK in SwiftUI. So in the last video in this series, I actually covered how to use the SD Web Image SwiftUI SDK. So SD Web Image is another SDK for image loading and caching in your app. Kingfisher is doing the exact same thing. Whether you want to use that one or this one or another one, that's up to you. But I'm covering this one just because it's also incredibly popular. And if you're going to join a company, chances are that company is either using that SDK, this SDK, or maybe there's a couple other ones, but they all kind of do the exact same thing with slightly different implementations. In this video now, we're going to look at how to implement Kingfisher in SwiftUI, and we're going to play around with a couple implementations and how to really strategically use it in our app. Welcome back, everybody. In the last video, we looked at SD Web Image to load images, and now we're going to look at Kingfisher, which is more or less the same thing. So a lot of the code is going to look very, very similar. What I'm going to do is actually reuse a lot of the code from the last video. And so because of that, I'm just going to organize some of my files real quick. So if you're just joining me, I'll talk about what I'm doing otherwise, and you don't have to actually write all this code right now. I'm going to right click the navigator, create a new group and call this image loading. And I'll put all my image loading files in here. Put my SD Web Image Bootcamp in here. And I'm going to create a new file just for, let's call this the image loader. And my image loader is going to be this struct from the last video. If you were not with me, I'll talk about that struct in just 1 second. I'm going to remove the file private here just so that we can access it from the other file. Paste it in here. Let's get the preview working here with the image loader. So I'm just going to cut my preview from here. And we actually don't really need this view anymore. I'm going to copy and paste the image loader from there just to get the preview working in this file. I'm also going to cut my image prefetcher and put that in its own file. So right click, create a new file, Swift file, image prefetcher. Paste that in here. And here we're going to have to import SD Web Image because we did not wrap it in anything. Make sure our previews work again. All right, this one's working. So in the last video, if you're with me, just to recap real quick, we used SD Web Image SwiftUI. It's an image SDK to load images, very similar to Kingfisher, which is what we're doing in this video. This is the code that is specific for SD Web Image. So this is not going to be reused in this video. But when we are adding image SDKs into our app, it's a good idea to wrap them in some sort of wrapper or basically a parent struct to kind of erase the SDK from your code base. So currently, if you were to write this directly into your code, every time you wanted to use a web image, you'd have to import the web image and use all these specific modifiers. But what we did in the last video was we created this struct specific to SD Web Image and then wrapped it in a generic image loader and then called it from our generic image loader. This way, we use this generic struct in our app, and it's not reliant on being part of SD Web Image. And this is going to come in handy because in this video, we're going to do Kingfisher, and then we're just going to replace this line of code, and we have all the same code in our app. So we don't have to worry about refactoring in our entire code base to switch out our image SDK. There's a rectangle here, which is a little trick that I went over in the last video. I'm going to ignore it for now. If you're interested, watch the last video on SD Web Image. I did a bunch of tips and tricks in that video. Let's create two more groups here. Create a group and call this SPMs. And I'm going to create another group and call this, let's just call this generic. So our generic image loader and prefetcher will go in that. And the web image will go in the SPMs. Just to try to stay organized for the bootcamp, I'm going to right click the navigator, create a new file, a SwiftUI view, and let's call this one Kingfisher Bootcamp. Let's click create. All right, we're going to do basically the same thing as the SD Web Image Bootcamp. I'm going to go to Google. Let's go up. Let's leave SD Web Image. Let's look for Kingfisher SwiftUI. Should come right up here. And let's copy that URL. Kingfisher, it does basically the same thing. It's been around for a while, except the syntax is a little different. We're going to create a KF image and then pass in a URL. So back to the code base. Let's go back to our project navigator, project, package dependencies, click the plus, paste in our URL, add the package, let that load in real quick, add package, super fast, super lightweight SDK. Let's go back to Kingfisher Bootcamp. Let's import Kingfisher. And those of you who don't know, Kingfisher is a bird, super fast bird, kind of like a Swift bird, which is kind of in our theme here. And let's see what they say. Create a KF image. Let's just do that real quick. I'm going to come down here, do a KF image. I'm going to go get our URL from the last video. In the last video, we went to this website. So it's pixum.photos. And there's random images. There's also a specific image URL here. So this is the one that we copied and pasted. Let's go back to our code base. Let's copy the URL. Let's go back to Kingfisher and we'll paste in our image. And it looks like it works out of the box, which is great. Just for example's sake, I'm going to take the Kingfisher Bootcamp, copy it. I'm going to go back to the first view in my app, paste it in, and build and run to the simulator, just to check that this does actually work on a simulator. Simulator is open, and the image loads real quick. I'm going to force close the app, and I'm going to open it back up one more time, and the image is still there. So again, just a reminder that these images have disk caching built in, which is so convenient, so awesome, saves us so much time as developers. So we're already caching with just one line of code. Turn my internet back on, and let's go back to Kingfisher. Look at how we can customize this in a similar fashion to the last one. I'm going to come down here and look at some of these more advanced examples. It looks like they have another completion kfimage.url with all of these modifiers. So I'm just going to copy these and jump back to our code base here and paste them in. And let's comment them out and then try to use them. So kfimage.url looks like it's the same thing as this. So then we can add a placeholder. Just like placeholder in the last video, we can put in whatever content here while it is loading. Let's do color.red. Load this up real quick and see if we can get the red placeholder. And if I change the URL, we can see the placeholder is coming through here. And then the image loads. Let's change out the image real quick. Let's just do ID of 238. And it looks like it's got a different image. In Kingfisher, we can also make our images .resizable. And we can make them scaled to fit or scaled to fill using the native SwiftUI modifiers. I'm going to copy what I did in the SD Web Image Bootcamp, where we passed in an aspect ratio and we passed it in. So I'm going to come up here, copy and paste that. Let's pass in a URL. Let's pass in a content mode. All right. We're running into a quick error because content mode is ambiguous. For those of you who've never seen this error before, ambiguous basically means the compiler is not sure which content mode we are referring to. So anytime you see this ambiguous, it really means that there's probably more than one thing with the same name. And the compiler is getting confused and it wants you to specify which content mode you're referring to. So it's probably a content mode within Kingfisher as well as within SwiftUI. And I can probably prove that if I Command-Shift-O and I type in content mode, I can look and there's a content mode within SwiftUI. We can see here. There's also a content mode within Kingfisher package. So there's two things named content mode and the compiler is getting confused here. And we can very simply fix this by saying, which one do we want to use? And we'll literally call Kingfisher.content mode or SwiftUI.content mode. By default, every time we were using this in SD Web Image, this is SwiftUI.content mode. But now that there's two, because we imported Kingfisher here, let's just clarify which one we're trying to use. And let's add the same modifier from the last video, the aspect ratio, and we'll pass in the content mode. All right, let's fix our preview here. I'm going to get the same preview that I did from the last video. Let's paste this code in here. And let's pass in our URL. All right, last bug is that I need to pass in a URL to my main app. I'm just going to comment this out for now. Just put text hi because we're not going to build to the simulator anymore. Kingfisher is working. let's get the preview back up here. Cool. Let's give this a frame of maybe 200 by 200. Awesome. We're going to have the same alignment problems that we had in the last video. If you were with me, we'll talk about that in a second. But before we move on, let's talk a little bit more about Kingfisher image. There's a bunch of modifiers that I want to talk about here. Firstly, on progress. So this is a progress block that will execute as the received size increases. So this is really handy if you have really large images that take a large amount of time. You could maybe do something where you have some sort of state that changes as the progress changes. There's on success, which is similar to what we had in SD web image. There's also on failure. So if there's an error, we can get that error back in our code base here. Awesome. These are all really, really handy. A couple things that they wanted to highlight here is we can set a processor. So a processor is going to process the image before it loads onto the screen. So I'm not going to create an image processor here. In their docs, in Kingfisher's docs, they actually go in and talk about processors, and they have some examples here. But the main time I've ever used image processing is if you have really, really large files that you're downloading, like the image URL is huge, and you actually want to process the image on the device to make it smaller before it appears on the screen. So for example here, if we were downloading this image and it was massive, and then we were actually displaying it in a frame of 200 by 200, we could create a custom image processor that would, after it downloads, it then processes it so that it will render more efficiently in a 200 by 200 frame. Overall, I've used this in the past. Generally speaking, I would say avoid the processors because I think in most cases it's going to actually slow down the image loading time because you're adding time to process the images. I would avoid that in most cases, but I wanted to let you guys know that it is there. A couple other final things before we wrap up here. There's a modifier .cache memory only. So if we don't want it to save to the disk, but we just want it to save in memory, that's pretty handy. That's great for images where like the user might see an image, but probably will not see that image again in a different session. Whereas if they're going to see the same image between app restarts, we're going to want to cache to the disk and not just in memory. Their docs also have a lot of other stuff on basically there's a load data mode, which is kind of cool. And then there's some more stuff that I'm sure I'm missing, but I do not use very often. So I'm not going to really go into. All right. Anyway, this is how we use Kingfisher. I'm going to delete some of this code here because we're not using it. Let's use this and just comment it out so it's in our code base. And the last thing I'm noticing here is that I should actually not force unwrap this URL. So let's keep it like that. Cool. All right. Let's wrap up here with just, again, a real world use case of how we would use this in an app. Just like we did in the last video where we had our bootcamp and we ended up making an image loader specific for this. I'm going to just go back into here and I'm just going to rename this to actually call this Kingfisher image loader. Kingfisher image loader. And let's just paste it down here. And so if I was using this in a real app, I would put all of my Kingfisher code in this struct, and then I would create a parent struct to wrap this struct in. And so we did this already in the last video. We created an image loader, which is, this is the entire code. We actually didn't even need this rectangle. So for example, I could just put this here. And the reason we're doing this is because in my app, if I was using one SDK and I ever wanted to switch to another SDK, I would only be using this across all the files in my app. So very easily, I could just switch this line of code to Kingfisher image loader and the image is back on the screen, literally one line of code. So it's incredibly easy now to replace this dependency if I needed it to. In the last video, we actually added it as an overlay on a rectangle, which is generally what I recommend to avoid some bugs in your app. I talked about those bugs in the last video. I'm not going to dive into them now. But really simply now, all I need to do is replace this line of code with Kingfisher image loader, and we're good to go. And even further, I could then go and create like a should use Kingfisher Boolean up here. And then if so, use this one, otherwise use this one. Either way, Kingfisher is now working in our app alongside SD Web Image. I would not have both of these in my code base, but either one is a great choice for your code base. Generally, I've been using SD Web Image, but Kingfisher is also great. There's really no right or wrong answer. Let's wrap up the video by also prefetching images, because I find this really helpful in apps. So in the last video, we created a singleton. It's just called an image prefetcher class. We created an instance of it. And we created an SD Web Image prefetcher. And we use that to prefetch some URLs. All right, I'm just going to copy this class, create another one here for Kingfisher, just to do another example. Let's import Kingfisher. The difference here is the Kingfisher SDK is slightly different here. Let's start prefetching, and here we're going to call Kingfisher. Let's call this image prefetcher 2. Here we're going to say let prefetcher equals Kingfisher dot. Let's pass in our URLs. I think we need to call prefetcher dot start. Cool. Make this image prefetcher 2. And then what we're going to do here is create a variable called prefetcher of type Kingfisher image prefetcher. Make it optional, set it equal to nil. And then here in the start prefetching, we will set self.prefetcher equal to this, and then prefetcher.start. And here we're just going to call prefetcher.stop. Super simple image prefetcher. Just to kind of play on this real quick. Cool. And last thing, if we were to call this multiple times in our code base, every time it's going to create a new prefetcher, overwriting the existing one. So maybe we want to make this like prefetchers where we create like some sort of array, or maybe we use a dictionary where it has a key of type string. So then maybe we just add a bunch of different prefetchers into this dictionary every time. So we'll try to find what the key is. Maybe the key is like the URLs. So we could set the prefetchers at URLs equal to Kingfisher. And then we'll call prefetcher at URLs dot start. And pass them into our stop prefetching as well. And we'll call prefetcher URLs dot stop. Cool. Most of the time, I would not make this an array of URL. I would have some sort of key to identify this fetch request, but we don't have a real use case here, right? If I was prefetching a specific image, that image has a string, it has a name, has an ID, I would use that as the key. But generally speaking, this is super easy, again, to get prefetching into our app. So now with just a couple lines of code, we can prefetch images, and then we can actually download them into our app using Kingfisher. Thank you guys for watching. As always, my name is Nick. This is Swiftful Thinking, and I'll see you in the next video.